With Jermaine Jenas, former Premier League footballer. So Jermaine, it's been a busy summer transfer window so far. Who do you think has done the best business and why?
The best? Oh yeah. I suppose it's a weird one because Manchester City have obviously done the most business, but also in a weird way they've done the best because they've obviously highlighted the issues that they had over the last couple of seasons and rectified them by bringing in real genuine quality. So the likes of Walker, Mendy and Danilo coming from Madrid, I think are going to be a huge boost to Pep Guardiola. It's a way that he wants to play. He puts a lot of emphasis on his wider players. Last year we saw like Sane playing left wing back, Sterling at times playing right wing back. He wanted to do it but it wasn't working. I just think the whole dynamic of the way that City play is going to change, and I think a lot of it will be based on that. And obviously they've rectified the goalkeeping situation, and I suppose a close second would be Manchester United. I think the signing of Matic is absolutely huge.
Okay.
I really do. I can't believe Chelsea have let him go, and I think the feeling around Chelsea is of that similar feeling.
Yep.
Not only have we lost one of our probably most experienced and stronger players, but we sold him to a rival, and I think the balance that he gives Manchester United in that midfield, the strength, the height and the experience in the Premier League, between him and Lukaku, that's two of the best signings as well.
Nice. With Neymar fee, obviously it's not the Premier League, but is that showing that it's getting more and more difficult to get good value? I mean, with Matic around 40, wasn't it? So
yeah, I mean, look, it's a weird one for me. Like, money is just almost like null and void now in football. There's just that much of it that people are just shouting out any type of number they want. And a lot of people went crazy about the Kyle Walker, fee. And me personally, when I look at right backs, in the world, and the top right backs, he's up there. And if you look at the style of play that's prominent now, obviously, back in the day, years ago in the Premier League, 4-4-2, get your wingers out there and get the ball in the box to the big centre forward. And then we like this kind of 4-2-3-1 type formation now that Spurs kind of like to play. And then last year we saw the three at the back. Where you need your wing back. Wing backs all of a sudden becoming like strikers.
Yeah.
The players that are rare that you're trying to find that have the ability to be attacking and defensive at the same time. So, I think, bringing him in for 50 or 48 or 50 million, whatever it was I personally think it was good business. And the Neymar thing, that's just crazy. It's just crazy based on the fact that you've got somebody out there that is saying, look, I don't care what his buyout clause is. I've got the money and I'm going to get it done. And obviously, to almost kind of back that situation up though, we live in a world now, social media, we're on now obviously, players' shirts, television rights. Neymar single-handedly will bring in a fortune to Paris Saint-Germain in the French league. So, when you're looking at it from a business point of view, it's going to take a while, but I'm pretty sure that'll get paid back. Okay,
and you've mentioned your former side Spurs, so if you're a Spurs fan, they've kept all their best players, that core that have done really well over the last couple of seasons. But is there a concern for Spurs fans that hasn't been a whole lot of signings, a whole lot of activity yet?
I think there's a genuine concern. But I think what would give them comfort is their starting 11 is still one of the best in the Premier League. This is a team that's played together over a number of years now and know exactly how Maurizio wants them to play. Yes, they've lost Kyle Walker. Trippier had come in, and I think he's going to need some support. I don't think he's ready to go the whole season and the Champions League campaign right at that top level of consistency that he's going to need just as yet. So I expect them to strengthen in certain areas. But I think the concern comes probably more from the fact that everybody's going a little bit wild and crazy, and Spurs are kind of sat still and been calm. But I think you've got to trust the manager. I think he's earned that level of trust, and he obviously knows what he's got at his disposal in terms of the youth. Yeah. And I think the fact that he's backing that and said, look, I've got enough here at my disposal to get through this season is a testament to the man himself. And obviously Spurs fans will just be hoping that they can remain in the Champions League position come the end of next year.
And there's been a lot of talk of sort of backing up Harry Kane, helping him out up top. Is there anyone that you would say could help him out? Anyone that if you were...
I personally, I like Josh King. I really do. I think him at Bournemouth last year, especially towards the end of last year, had a really good spell.
Yeah.
I think that it's a player that they probably could get, especially now Defoe's gone to Bournemouth.
Yeah.
And also I think he fits the bill perfectly. Harry Kane is one of, if not one of the best strikers in the world. Best number 9. He's in that ilk now with Luis Suarez and so on. So I think that having somebody to back him up, like a Josh King, who knows what it's like to come off the bench. He does it at Bournemouth, but he's got genuine quality. Thickens up the squad a little bit. He's young as well, and I think Maurizio would take him to that next level as well. So I think he would be a player that I personally would like to see go to Spurs.
Great. And on another sort of top four or title rival with Liverpool, been a lot of talk about how Jordan Henderson needs a bit of help out in the middle of the park. Lucas has gone in. Would you say that there's anyone, or do you reckon that's an area Liverpool do need to concentrate on?
I was quite impressed with Wijnaldum last year. I thought he had a really solid year. There was a few games where you needed a couple of players to really grab the game by the scruff of the neck and handle that situation. I think he was definitely, he had a good season. I'm not sure that's an area that they got Emre Can in there, Henderson, Wijnaldum. I think there's talk about moving James Milner back into midfield.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of from a squad point of view, he adds depth. So I think they've got enough in that midfield area. Where the concern lies for me with Liverpool is goals. You know, have they got a guy who's going to get them 20 plus goals, which they've always had? They're number 9 over the years. Bang, you know, he's scoring 20 goals. And Firmino's a top player, but I feel he's just more of like an attacking midfield player. So that would be more of an area I'd like to see them strengthen.
Yep. And back up to North London, we've got Arsenal. There's again a lot of talk with what's the future with Jack Wilshere in that linchpin midfield, because Arsenal is that their kind of undercooked midfield area, lack of perhaps arguably kind of mental strength in that. Do they need a kind of Lionheart in the middle? Jack Wilshere could provide that, but
I can't believe that Arsene Wenger's not identified that central midfield area and gone, I need probably 2 in here. Yes, the market is strong. I mean, Bakayoko was obviously up for grabs at a time. I mean, it was only a couple of seasons ago, if not last season, he was saying he could have got Kante. There has been players available that he's not managed to get hold of. And the big problem for Arsenal, if you go through their midfield, it's where they are kind of, they have this softness which is injury prone more than anything. You know, I'm one to talk about injuries, but at the same time, you know, this is a team that are striving to get back into the Champions League, and you know, Jack, he has picked up his injuries. For me, when he's fit and at it, he's in the England team. Simple as that. He's a naturally gifted player. And then you've got Cazorla, can't keep fit. Ramsey can't keep fit. So you're down to your bare bones again, and I just think that to have not highlighted that area to strengthen it, I think it's a big mistake.
Okay, and we've got to mention you have a former side in the Premier League, Newcastle. What do you reckon are their chances, and how difficult is that transition from Championship up?
It's very tough, and I'm worried, if I'm totally honest with you. I'm very worried about Newcastle. It's just that feeling again that people aren't happy. Not sure Rafa's got exactly what he wanted. Is this squad good enough to survive in the Premier League? I don't think so. And then obviously, you know, to back that up, it doesn't take much to kind of get the balance of joy and happiness and support going the other way. You know, at St James's Park, I think if they're playing that free-flowing football, which they love at St James's Park, then great. I think if they do that, they probably get exposed because they're not quite good enough to keep the clean sheets as well. So it's a tricky one, you know, for Rafa and the club. As it stands right now, I'd put them in the bottom 3 come the end of next year, unfortunately. Okay, and before we let you go, just you've got to give us top 4 predictions and a title winner. All right. So I think it's weird because I've split into like a 3 and a 3 really. I think both Manchester clubs will be in that top 4. I think Chelsea will still be in that top 4, and then it's almost a battle between Liverpool, Arsenal, and Arsenal, and Spurs. Sorry, and I think Spurs will do it. Okay. I do think Spurs will end up in that top 4. I think they'll have enough. They'll get used to Wembley, and I think Manchester City will win the league. So yeah, that's my 2 predictions. That's my top 4, and that's me, my winner.
There we go. Thank you very much, Jermaine. Cheers.
Cheers. Nice one.